Welcome to my channel Coach IQ. Today we do MCQs related to images from nationalism in India. Now in the first image, they are showing you a soldier, two soldiers and a person crawling on the street. And it is written, General Dyer's crawling orders being administered by the British soldiers, Amritsar, Punjab, 1919. This image is related to the terrible Jallianwala Bagh killings where hundreds of innocent Indians were killed. The questions could be, what is this image portraying? CDM, Rolat Satyagraha or the Jallianwala Bagh incident? The answer is Jallianwala Bagh incident. The next one, who was the individual who ordered the killings in Jallianwala Bagh? It is General Dyer. Now come to your next MCQ. Here again they are showing you crowds and crowds of people, walking on the roads, and the question could be, which feature does this image portray connected to the national movement? Picketing, boycotts or mass procession? Picketing, we know, is when you surround a place and don't allow it to be opened, like surrounding a factory, an office, a shop. So it is not that. Boycott is when you just refuse to do something. So it is not that. The answer is mass procession. You can see the mass of people, crowds of people. Then come to the next MCQ. Here it is written, Indian workers in South Africa march through Walls Crust 6th November 1913. Here it is Gandhiji who is leading the workers from Newcastle to Transvaal, and when the marchers were stopped, Gandhiji was arrested. More workers joined and joined the satyagraha against the racist laws which did not give many rights to the non-whites. So now maybe this explanation and all would not be given and just this image would be given. So the question could be, this is an image related to the South African march in 1913 led by Gandhiji. The march was from which place? That is, where did it start and where did it end? 3 options are given to you. The answer is C, Newcastle to Transvaal. So in these image MCQs, you have to know the image to which lesson it is related, and secondly, please read whatever is given in the square box next to the image, because very often they may not give you those details. The next MCQ, this image shows you people with flags and banners, and a sort of structure has been created, and it is written that the boycott of foreign cloth, July 1922, foreign cloth was seen as the symbol of Western economic and cultural domination. So what does this image signify? Mass movement, picketing or boycott of foreign cloth? The answer is boycott of foreign cloth. For Gandhiji said, foreign cloth should be boycotted so that Indians would now start using Indian homemade khadi, and economically also the Britishers would then suffer. Now the next MCQ shows you a image which is very macabre, very gory, terrible it is, because you can see that something must have burned. People's bodies are lying on the streets, and it is written Chauri Chaura 1922. And the explanation is given that this happened in Gorakhpur. A peaceful demonstration in a bazaar became violent as there was a clash with the police. And after this, Gandhiji called off the NCM. Now here, as I told you all earlier, they may not give you all this explanation. So which incident do you relate to this image? So when you see an image with that charpai, like a cot, like a a jute strung bed, cot, and you see dead bodies lying on the ground, remember it is the Chauri Chaura incident. So you relate this image with the Chauri Chaura incident. Then B is policemen burnt alive. C is calling off the NCM, or D is all of the above. Now you know all these things happened with this incident. It happened in Chauri Chara. 22 policemen were burnt alive in this, and hearing this, Gandhiji got so upset, he called off the NCM. So all of the above, all this you'll relate with this particular image. The next question with the same image could be, when did this incident happen and in which place? So A, Chauri Chowra in 1922, or Amritsar in 1919, or Chauri Chara in 1921. The answer is Chauri Chara, and the year is 1922. Now the next picture shows Gandhiji and a few other people also walking. And it's written, the Dandi March. During the Salt March, Gandhiji was accompanied by 78 volunteers, and on the way they were joined by thousands. So the Salt March, as you know, is a very, very significant part of Indian history, where when Lord Irwin does not agree to Gandhiji's demands in the letter, Gandhiji starts this, and 78 volunteers, the distance is 240 miles. Starting is Sabarmati Ashram, termination is the coastal town of Dandi in Gujarat, and the march was for 24 days with them doing a distance of 10 miles a day. So now here it could be, the questions could be, quite a few questions could come related to this. Which incident relates to this image? The answer is Salt March. In this picture, you can see Gandhiji wearing his trademark cotton dhoti and bare-chested and with his stick. The second one, how many volunteers accompanied Gandhiji? The answer is 78. Starting place from Sabarmati, there were 78 volunteers. On the way, many joined. So the answer is 78. The next one, where did the Salt March end? It ended in Dandi. The next one, the Salt March signified the start of which movement? NCM, CDM, or Quit India movement? The answer is CDM, that is Civil Disobedience Movement. By which other name is the Salt March also known as? The answer is the Dandi March. For Gandhiji went from Sabarmati to the coastal town of Dandi to break the salt law. So the Dandi March. The next image shows you 3 leaders, and their names are given in the write-up, and it is said they are at Sevagram Ashram, Wardha, 1935. Here the question could be, which 3 leaders are shown in the image? The first leader we all would know immediately, and that is Mahatma Gandhi. The middle figure is of Jawaharlal Nehru. And the last one is Maulana Azad. So these are the names of the leaders. In the next image, you see a very ornamental frame with the image of a person in the center. This person is Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and he is surrounded by symbols of unity, that is the institutions of different faiths. Now here the question could be, what is Tilak surrounded by? Symbols of unity or sacred institutions of different faiths, or both of the above? The answer is both of the above, because you have the masjid, the church, the temple, all these holy institutions, sacred institutions of different religions are seen. Then you also see 2 ladies, 1 lady and maybe a man. Then you see a lion. So all symbols of unity, and also you have pictures of sacred institutions. So it is both of the above. The other question could be, identify the leader, name the leader shown. The answer is Lokmanya Tilak. The next image shows you a lady who is Bharat Mata, And it's written Bharat Mata, Abanindranath Tagore, 1905. And there's a small write-up that the mother figure is shown as dispensing. Dispensing means giving, learning, food and clothing. Mala in her hand shows the ascetic quality. Now here your question could be that who is the creator of the painting? Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, Rabindranath Tagore or Abanindranath Tagore? Remember, this painting is by Abanindranath Tagore. He was highly inspired by the Swadeshi movement and he painted this very, very famous image. Now here if you see this image, there is the mala in one hand. Mala is your beads. It's like a prayer bead. So what does the mala in the image denote? Education, health or ascetic quality? The answer is ascetic quality. That means saintly qualities. Now, the next question in this particular image could be that what is the figure of Bharat Mata dispensing? What is she giving? Food, learning, clothing or all of the above? The answer is all of the above. Because you see the grains in her hand, she's shown with 4 hands. So grains in her hand, that is not grains exactly like grass is there, that is food. Then there's a small clothing object, that is clothing. And there is a bundle of paper, that is your learning. So all of the above. The next image shows you again Bharat Mata painted by some other artist whose name is not given. There's a trishul in her hand and there's a lion and an elephant also. She's standing beside these 2 animals. Now here the question could be, the lion and the elephant are symbols of which quality as denoted in the figure of Bharat Mata? Strength and enormity, power and authority or wild and savage? The answer is B, power and authority. The next image shows you many people, but what is striking about this image is there are many women in this image. So here it is, women joined the nationalist movement. Many women for the first time in their lives moved out of their homes onto a public arena. You see old women and mothers with children in their arms. So this was a unique feature, okay, where women are joining the movement, because otherwise women in India usually never got involved in the public life. Here the question could be, the striking feature of women participation in mass movements was a feature of which movement? NCM, CDM or Quit India movement? The answer is B, Civil Disobedience Movement, that is CDM. It was for the first time that many women participated in the movement.